Hare Krishna, Swami Prakash Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Dandavat. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji. You are able to hear me, Prabhuji?
Yes, bro. Am I audible, bro?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam. Welcome to Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Today we are very glad to have the association of Grace Swami Prakash Prabhu, who will be sharing the nectars from the transcendental prayers of Srila Prabhupada on the topic of Markine Bhagavata Dharma, verse 1. Over to you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvidamsha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So today we are discussing from the prayers offered by Srila Prabhupada when he went to the West, and when he reached the Boston Harbor on September 18th in 1965, Prabhupada wrote this song, Markine Bhagavata Dharma. So that the first verse. In one sense, this is the prayer which Prabhupada offered in the in his travel. So the first one, Krishnada Punya Vibhai, that one he wrote when Prabhupada was in the ship. Prabhupada wrote it on the September 13th, and this Prabhupada is writing after 5 days after that. Prabhupada writes, Bado Krupa Kaile Krishna Adha Mera Prati Ilagiya Nileheta Koro Ebe Gati. I'll just read the word-to-word meaning and the translation of this. Baro Krupa, great mercy, Kaile showed Krishna, O Lord Krishna, Adhamera Prati, to this fallen soul. Kilagi, for what reason? Anile, you have brought me. Heta, here. Kara, please show. Ebe now Gati, your purpose. My dear Lord Krishna, you are so kind upon this youth's soul, but I do not know why you have brought me here. Now you can do whatever you like with me. So now this whole incident is that if you see a little, try to see the situation and analyze. Srila Prabhupada was given the instruction by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in the year 1922 that you take this message of Lord Chaitanya across the globe in the English language because you are an intelligent, learned man. And Prabhupada, being a Gandhiyavadi, he said that, but Swamiji, who is going to hear this message of yours? Now, right now, what is needed is the what you can say, the independence. So, who will hear your message of Bhagavata or something? At that time, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he clarified that how the whole thing is happening because of the not proper understanding of the philosophy. That we are not this body, we are the soul. And when one understands that, and when one understands that everybody is the part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, then one doesn't want to harm or cause disturbance to the other living entity. Seeing that everybody is the servant of the Lord, just like I have the freedom to stay and leave, the other will also understand, has also the freedom, and he will not try to trouble or harm. And then there will be peace throughout the entire world. And when Prabhupada heard this, Prabhupada was very much convinced that the Prabhupada writes in the Lilamruta, Satsvarup Maharaj writes that Prabhupada had told that moment he got convinced that the message of Lord Chaitanya is in the right hands. And there itself, he considers Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur as his spiritual master and offers himself. And in the heart of heart, he accepts the instruction. And Prabhupada writes that immediately I wanted to offer myself, but because of being married, he was already married and he had small son also, because of which I could not get away with the family responsibilities. Hence, I had to continue. But nevertheless, Prabhupada, although he was there in the Grihastha with all the responsibilities of family and his job of the Prag pharmacy in Allahabad, Pragraj, and traveling from place to place, shifting. With all those things, Prabhupada, this one instruction he kept in the heart, and he was constantly trying to see that how can I make the instruction of my spiritual master come true. That we see at many places when Srila Prabhupada was in the Prayagraj also, in the Lilamruta it comes that some of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada had come there, so Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had come there and they wanted to establish a center. And Prabhupada makes all the necessary help what he could make. And even I read somewhere that they knew that this Abhay Charan Prabhu, he is quite very learned and quite good in the kirtan also. They would call him to give classes and all, but still sometimes he would make the other devotees sit on the Vyasasan. He would sit down and he would give class or the explanation, but he would make them to sit on this one. So that way he was right from the beginning also, his demeanor was very humble. And then when the possibility was there, he started writing the articles and publishing it in the form of the letters or small one articles. And when he gets the hint from one of the postmen that he says that Swamiji, you are writing so many things. Why don't you put it in a book form, small, and then give? That will have more weightage than just sending one newsletter. Prabhupada takes it as the instruction given by the Lord, or the message sent by the Lord, and he tries to make it as a back-to-content magazine and tries to distribute. And when he sees that his own wife, who took the manuscript Prabhupada had written with so much of efforts, the translating the Bhagavad Gita into English, and when that whole papers were given for a few biscuits, Prabhupada's heart becomes shattered. There's like so much of hard endeavor, and like no. And there was the time Prabhupada asks me or tea, and she jokingly says tea, and Prabhupada like leaves. And despite after that, we know that how Prabhupada goes from different mathas in different places in the Mathura, and going to trying to start the League of Devotees, and so much of hardships in terms of no support, no money, and even at times there were days when Srila Prabhupada didn't had even the basic proper clothes, in terms of they were not ready to help in any way. And understanding all these things, Prabhupada was trying to see that how I can make separate institution where the message or the instruction given by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur can be clearly executed. For that reason, Srila Prabhupada was trying to see the possibility and the options. And when he took sannyas, and in the Keshav Gaudiya Math in Mathura, after that, thinks that now I have to make something to go to. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had told to go to West. So before going, I need to have something to carry. Otherwise, if I go, what will I offer to the people? So that way, Srila Prabhupada thought of translating the Srimad Bhagavatam. And he translated the first canto in 3 volumes. And once he finishes, he himself was like, all the struggles which Prabhupada had to undergo to just print that Bhagavatam also, that no money, raising the funds for it, going to the printer, carrying all the paper and necessary things. And after that, the printing is done, proofreading, and finally even distributing also. So that way Prabhupada was trying to do all the necessary things. And later, while being in the Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan, he gets an opportunity to speak to people, and whenever there was opportunity, he would try to make sure that if there is any small possibility or any opportunity, he would not miss. We say that don't leave any stone untouched. So that way Prabhupada was trying to see all this one. And when one of the Agarwal, when he said that my son Gopal Agarwal is staying in US, Prabhupada says, why don't you just write a letter? And he writes a letter, and even the Gopal, his son, because coming from a little cultured family, although he was married to a Sally Agarwal, a Western lady, but still he thinks that, okay, father has sent a mail, I don't think that it's going to happen. Just at least out of courtesy, let me reply that yes, he can come, I'll accommodate. And Prabhupada took it so seriously, and Prabhupada made all the arrangements of going to the US with nothing but only a set of few books and small trunk of his few clothes and some cereals to survive for a few days. And on the way, we know that Prabhupada had the heart attack, and if I get one more, Prabhupada says that I may not survive. So with all these things, he is going. And now, if you see carefully, Prabhupada is writing, like, no, my dear Lord, Bodo Krupa Koile Krishna, My dear Lord, you have made you have so kind upon me. If somebody is there in such situation, they may blame, or they may consider oneself, what is this life? So much of struggle, so much of hardship, no support. And God, what have you done to me? That can be the response of some people. But here we see the response of Srila Prabhupada that, oh my dear Lord, you have made so much of, showered you so much of mercy upon me, that what is that? What is the mercy in one sense? Prabhupada is seeing the hand of Krishna in bringing him to the Western world, by which he will be able to fulfill the instruction of his spiritual master. Because for a disciple considers that the serving the spiritual master and pleasing him is the foremost thing than anything else. That was one of the purport which inspired Srila Prabhupada very much. Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kunandana. That Bhaushakanantascha buddhayo avyavasayina. So Srila Prabhupada, when he read the purport of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, that how the disciple should make the instruction of the spiritual master as the life and soul, that touched him very much. And then there was a seed, kind of thing for Prabhupada to become more and more serious, or to make the instruction of Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur manifest. And for that, Srila Prabhupada was, from his side, he is trying all possible ways, and then depend on Krishna's mercy. Prabhupada is very much showing us the Damodar Leela, where we share that how the two fingers, one is of our endeavor, and the second one is the Lord's mercy. Depending upon our endeavor, the Lord gives his blessings or the mercy. So here he is seeing that part, that, but Lord, I have done my part of endeavor, and now it is up to you. Because a devotee, as one progresses, he comes to the understanding is that it is not that I have done something, so I should get in return, or the Lord should become the order supplier. In the initial stages, or a karmakandi person, he goes to the Lord and begs, no, my dear Lord, give me this, give me that, sukha sampatti garave, kastamite manaka, that everything come to my home, all the happiness and no suffering should be there. That means going and praying that you make all these things for Lord. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his Shikshashtakam, he has sung that Ashtishyava padratam pinashtama madarshanan marmahata karotuma yata tathava vidadhatulam pato mat prananatastu sayevanata naparaha. And my dear Lord, whether you accept me or reject me, whether you embrace me or throw me away, in all situations you are my master and I'm your servant. And this relationship is eternal. It is not that just because I'm your servant or I'm serving you, that doesn't mean that you should always take care of me and you should always favor me. Even if whether you favor or don't, but still I'll never leave your lotus feet, and I'll never stop your service, which is really very tough in the initial stages, because of our conditioned nature. If somebody doesn't reciprocate with us or respond to us for a few times, we think, okay, anyways, why should I try this? In any relationship also, if we carefully see that, I'm trying to bridge the gap, trying to speak or do something by which relate more, but the other person is not responding. Why should I continue? Let me give it up. That may be the attitude generally in us. But a devotee who is very much advanced, he says that whether you reciprocate or not, whatever it is, but still you are my master, I am your servant, and I'll never leave your service. That is this one. In the same way, he considers that my service to Krishna is not direct and it is through my spiritual master. So that's why it's foremost responsibility of mine to fulfill the desire of my spiritual master. There's one very beautiful incident comes in the life of Anantacharya when he was sent by Srila Ramanujacharya to serve in the Balaji temple at Tirupati. So he comes there and he makes the beautiful garden. We all know that pastime of how Lord Balaji himself wanted to come and help him, but he was not willing to share his service. He says that, oh, you are a young man, you go and enjoy. This is service given to my spiritual master, and I don't want to share it with anyone. Let me do it. And when he was doing that, and then Balaji hidingly assists his wife, when he comes to know Anantacharya, he throws the crowbar, and even today that crowbar is there, that goes and hits the chin, and like the blood comes from that, and then the medicine is put there. And after the whole thing, then he started serving the Lord Balaji with the beautiful flowers and the tulsi grown in that garden. One day, early in the morning, Anantacharya had not yet come because he would every day bring the flowers and the garland and tulsi for the service of the Lord. So Lord Balaji tells to his Archaka or the Pujari that please go and call Anantacharya. He comes and tells to Anantacharya that Lord is calling, please come. He says, yes, I'll come after some time. So some time passes, and again Anantacharya had not turned up. The Lord says, please go and tell that I am Balaji calling him. He should come immediately. The Pujari comes and tells to Anantacharya, Lord Balaji is calling you, please come. Are you not fearful of displeasing the Lord? Immediately Anantacharya says, see, I'm here not for the sake of Balaji. I'm here to serve the instruction of my spiritual master. So my instruction of my guru is that I should offer very nice garlands for the pleasure of the Balaji. So I'll fulfill his instruction first, and then I'll come to the call of the Lord. So then when he comes, then the Lord was so pleased to see his Guru Nishtha, that how he was, despite he was not seeing that, okay, oh, Lord is calling me, let me directly run. He saw this one. Personally is giving the ordinance of this one, no. Because the disciple considers himself as the instrument in the hand of the spiritual master. The same way, here he is seeing that despite all those struggles and all, now he is able to come to this unknown land of America, and for this he is thanking Krishna. Krishna, you have shown so much of mercy, by which you have given me opportunity to come here, by which I'll be able to at least fulfill the instruction of my spiritual master. So he is expressing his gratitude in the beginning itself. So, and then whenever the devotees, if you see carefully, the great souls offer their prayers, there are 2-3 aspects in that prayer. First thing is, first they thank the Supreme Lord, and then they express their greatness of the Lord and one's own inferior position, and then they put forward their petition. It's not that when you go to the offer prayers to the Lord, not that directly we go and offer that, oh my Lord, I have this problem or that. Yes, that can be done, but in general, if you see, all the devotees, they first offer, thank the Lord for whatever He has done, and then express one's inferior position, or how minimum or how low I am, and my dear Lord, how you are so great, and then present one's heartfelt prayers or the wishes, whatever is there. So here also Prabhupada is telling that, my dear Lord, thank you for your so great mercy. And Prabhupada is expressing his humility, like he's telling that Adhamera Prati, I am so Adhama, I am so fallen. And you're showing your great mercy on such a person like me. So, Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also in the Shikshashtakam also he says, Tranadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sada hari. If somebody wants to chant constantly, then one should be, one should feel oneself lower than the grass on the street and more tolerant than a tree. Offer all respects to others and expect none in return. When one does this, then one will be able to chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. So here we see that how Prabhupada is expressing his humility, that he is considered himself Adhama, useless. But then, although all the great souls, they do so much, so great things, or they do so much of service, but still they don't take it that I am doing or I am the doer. That's why, and they don't consider that I am some worthful person. They consider themselves as low or useless. It is completely contrary to this mindset of this material world, in the sense that where everybody wants to be the boss or everybody wants to rule other. Whereas the mindset of the Golok Vrindavan, as it comes in the 3rd canto 15th chapter, where the description of the spiritual world comes, there when the bumblebee starts making the sound, then all the other birds which can sing much more melodiously, they all stop their singing and they just hear the bumblebee's sound. They consider that they don't see that I am great or I am better than you. They feel, oh, you are glorifying the Lord, let me hear from you. The same way when the tulasi leaf, the fragrance of tulasi leaf comes, all the other, the flowers, there may be very much more fragrant flowers, they all give prominence to tulasi, understanding that that will be pleasing to the Supreme Lord. So that way, it is natural that it is the mindset in the spiritual world that everybody considers the other person better than me, even to the extent of Srimati Radharani. When any living entity goes in the approaches in the service of Krishna, then she says that Krishna, this devotee is better than me, please accept him. So that way, here also Prabhupada is expressing his humility. And even if we read the preface of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and at many places, Prabhupada in the preface also writes that I'm just writing this whole Bhagavad Gita just to fulfill the instruction of my spiritual master. It is the instruction of Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur that this Bhagavad Gita has to be presented in the English language. And although there are many Bhagavad Gitas, but many of them have given their own interpretation, but not given the direct what Krishna is saying. So I'm just making an attempt in doing that. That way he doesn't take any credit for himself, And even when many times when Srila Prabhupada would give the classes addressing his disciples, he would say, I see all of you as the representatives of my spiritual master. He has sent all of you to me so that I can serve and fulfill his instructions. So despite whatever the position one may be, they see themselves as the servant of their spiritual master, the instruction, or the representative of the spiritual master, and try to have that identity always. That's why they, no matter whether one gets lot of praise or if nothing comes, still they don't get affected. Recently, just maybe around 2 weeks back, I had the fortune of visiting the Bhuvaneshwar temple while returning back from Puri. So first time I went, and I had read about that temple, Bhuvaneshwar temple, how it came. That was the land which His Holiness Gaur Swami Maharaj had got. And when he got the land, and it was somewhere in 1975 or 76, something like that, in the initial this one. So Gaur Swami Maharaj had gone to Vrindavan, and he got the sannyas. Also, Prabhupada gave very fast all the 3 sannyas. No, sorry, all the 3 initiations. And then he wanted that he should preach in the Orissa. And that time, Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj goes to Prabhupada and asks that, Prabhupada, can you please send somebody? Because alone, how will I be able to preach? Like, please send someone so that I can go and preach. There was one devotee who was, what I can say, transit from going from one place to the another. So Maharaj thought that, okay, he is there, so he can come and he can assist. And then Prabhupada told, see your spiritual master. He went alone with no money, and then he preached. So then he told this, and then Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj had to come alone and try to do whatever best possible. And even till few years before, now the national highway has come, because of which they had to break that kutir. Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj personally with his own hands made a small kutir to stay. And in 77, beginning or end of 76, Srila Prabhupada came to Bhuvaneshwar. And when he came for his stay, the facility was made in the government guest house for staying. But Prabhupada said, no, I'll go and stay with my disciple. And that time, it is said that the land which ISKCON had got, that was considered to be far outskirts, and there are many dacoits and all, and people, even the auto people, after evening 4:30, 5 o'clock, they would fear, or they would not agree to come to this area. They would refuse. And in such place, Gaur Govind Maharaj was staying, and Prabhupada stayed almost for, I think, 12 days or 15 days or something like that. And Prabhupada was very happy to be there and in that situation. So that way, Prabhupada was not that, oh, now I have so many disciples and all, how can I stay in such meager facility or something? No. So that way, everywhere we see that there in the heart of heart, they see themselves as a servant of the Supreme Lord or his spiritual master, and that way they are not eager for to be in the limelight. If need be, even if they are in the limelight, it is just for the sake of the service. Even once when the reporter asked, Swamiji, why do you travel in the limousine or stay in such posh hotels? Prabhupada instantly said, see, if I can stay below a tree, I don't mind, but if I stay there, will you come there? So that was Prabhupada's this one, that yes, for the sake of service, even if I've been told to accept any post, position or luxury, I don't mind. That's why it is said, if the spiritual master, the Lord, wants one to be in the palace, and if one is staying below the tree, there's also a sense gratification, or the otherwise also. So that way, here we see that Prabhupada is thanking Krishna and expressing his humility. And then he is telling to the Lord that, Kilagiya, for what reason you have brought me, my dear Lord? I don't know for what reason. You have brought me here. You made the arrangement and I have come. Now, please show me your purpose. What should I do here? So they always seek the direction from the Lord. And for a pure devotee, the Lord directs from within and guide. One devotee was telling that Srila Bhaktivedanta Sarthi Thakur wanted to preach in the London, and he sent some of his disciples to London, and then even to the fact that in one of the letter Prabhupada writes that even in 1935 Srila Bhaktivedanta Sarthi Thakur would send around 5,000 rupees per month for this to these devotees to preach in the Western world. So that way Srila Bhaktivedanta Sarthi Thakur was making all the endeavors to preach in the London, but Srila Prabhupada tried to preach in the go to US, because that was a time people were all turning towards that. And His Grace Shyam Sundar Prabhu writes in the his book Chasing the Rhinos with Swami, in that he writes that the way Krishna had made all the arrangement, because Prabhupada made himself, as in the further also it comes that Prabhupada nachao Prabhu nachao se mathe kashira puttale jaise nachao se mathe, that you make me as I'm like a puppet and you're like a puppeteer, you make me dance however you want me to. So that way he writes in that the Lord had made arrangement in such a way that when Prabhupada came to US, especially in New York in 1965 and the beginning of 66, when the ISKCON was founded in July. So 65 and the 66 beginning was the time when this hippie culture was at thrive in New York. It started there, and then it was it had become quite popular or famous, or it was the most happening thing there. And in 1966 and 67 beginning, when Srila Prabhupada came to the San Francisco, he visited. That was the time the hippie culture had slowly moved from there to the San Francisco, the West Coast. And in 69, when Srila Prabhupada went to London, that was the time this whole culture had reached London, and there it was quite, this hippie culture was quite prominent. And that was the time George Harrison also had come to New York, and he comes to this Lower East Side, where the Bowery and all, where this hippie culture originated. And he writes in another book that by the time when he came here, he saw that the actual hippie culture had gone, and they had become just the drunkards. That means the hippies were not just the drunkards or something. They were seeking something higher in their life, for which they were ready to do anything. So if we carefully see that it is Krishna had made the arrangement for Prabhupada that when he comes, then all those who are eagerly searching or for something higher in their life, they can come in contact with Prabhupada, and then they can come to the bhakti. So that way, Prabhupada is expressing his heart that, my dear Lord, now you have brought me here. Now you can try to do whatever you want me to do. So that way he is asking for the direction from the Supreme Lord. And the Lord, as I was telling, that he being seated in the heart as Paramatma, he directs the every living entity. When one is sincere, then he directs to the right, in the right direction. So this was the first stanza of this song, where Srila Prabhupada is expressing his humility and thanking Krishna and praying, "My dear Lord, you show me the path, or do what you want me to do now that you have brought me here." These were few thoughts which I just wanted to share. If anybody has any questions, comments, or reflections.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, that was pranam. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for sharing the mood of Srila Prabhupada, especially how intensely he was praying and seeking the guidance from Lord Krishna and his spiritual master. And he completely surrendered himself to be the instrument in the hands of the Lord. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for sharing the details. I am just unmuting the lines of the devotees. You may please share your comments or questions that you may have. Yeah, I unmuted the lines. Hare Krishna devotees, you are able to unmute the lines?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dhandas Pranam. Thank you so much for the wonderful pastimes of Bhuvaneshwar, His Holiness Gaur Govindra Maharaj. It was amazing to see his dedication and Prabhupada's commitment to his disciple. So it's wonderful. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thanks.
Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Arjun Sakha.
Very nicely. Thank you very much for this wonderful class. Prabhu, one question comes here in mind. Humility also, the blessings of the Lord. Without His blessings, the humility also not come. What should be our mood of prayer so that we get this ornament called humility in life, so that we use it practically in our seva?
In my little understanding, everything like it is not that we are born with everything, or many things we learn in the life. Just like at one point of the time, slowly the child starts crawling, and then after that slowly tries to stand up and falls down, but then again stands up, tries to keep few steps and again falls down. Then slowly one will be able to walk. The same way, as a sadhaka also, when you understand that these are the things which are pleasing to the Lord, or which one should develop. Just like if somebody wants to go to any Western world or any other country, one will try to find out what is needed there. Because if I have to go to US, one will surely try to find out what is the weather condition there, what clothing I need to take, or he'll try to make arrangements of what ought to be done there, in the sense that tries to know the thing that, okay, there I cannot drive on the left, I have to drive on the right side, like that. So because so that when one goes there, he will be allowed there, and he'll be able to they say be like a Roman when you are in Rome. So the same way, when one understands that one tries to, while practicing the spiritual life, and one understand that what are the things that are valued in the spiritual world or needed to go there, then one will try to make an endeavor to do that. Although it may not be our natural or the regular nature. one understands that, okay, this is important, this is needed, I'll try to make an attempt. And it's like a small baby crawls, same way we take a small steps, we may fail, again make an attempt, and then again we may fail after some time. But then making little endeavor, then seeing our endeavor, like just like the sparrow, making the endeavor, seeing that endeavor of the sparrow, determined endeavor, the Garuda came to the help. The same way the Lord will send us the help and the necessary wisdom. So that's why once my spiritual master was telling that if somebody is insulting you, it can be seen in multiple ways. One can see, why I'm a Krishna's devotee, why this is happening, or why he is doing that, or one may retaliate. And he said, one can see that also as that, oh, Krishna has given me this opportunity to practice humility. So it was completely a googly that great souls, even in such situation, they see that there is an opportunity to, they don't see even the fault or any get disturbed in their mind. They see it as, oh, it's an opportunity for me to practice humility. So that way, at least we can make, we may not be able to go to that extent. Now, at least theoretically, we know we can try to make a humble attempt. Then slowly we may stumble. But then again, if we keep making a attempt, then seeing that Lord may give us the strength to practice it. This is my little understanding. Others can also share if somebody.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Wonderful. And I'll take it that Krishna has given me the opportunity. Wonderful. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams. Thanks for the wonderful class, Prabhu. Lot of learnings and realizations. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna devotees, are there any other comments or reflections, questions?
Should we pause for today, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for the wonderful class, Prabhu. Yeah, one thing you mentioned, when Prabhupada was writing, the paper boy told, why you are doing this, you have to print this. Prabhupada never neglected anything. Oh, yeah, that's such a humble person he was. I have to learn all these things, Prabhu. Thank you very much for mentioning all these points, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranams.
Even in that video, it comes that the printer says, Swamiji, why are you doing this? Then he would say that, to the printer that, no, it is my instruction of my spiritual master, and keep saying that one day I'll be successful in my attempts. So that way Prabhupada had that confidence, but that confidence was not in his own this one, but in the instruction of the spiritual master, that it is he wants it to happen. And then like it is said that the Krishna will never forgo the desire of his pure devotees. So the same way it is said that if our acharyas or our spiritual masters have desired something, so Krishna is going to fulfill. And if we try to make an attempt in any way, little bit, that it is for our benefit, Nimitta Matra Bhaya Savyasachi, Arjuna, become an instrument in my hand and you will become glorified. The same way when we try to assist in whatever way, then we become glorified. So, because Krishna is going to make it happen through someone or the other. So, just this thought came to my mind. Thanks.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, devotees. There are no questions. We can end today's session with the Vaishnava Pranam on Chakalpataru. Nidamadevyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Bhagavata Jai, Srila Prabhupada Jai, Prabhupada Lilamruta ki Jai. Thank you, devotees. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you once again. I will meet again tomorrow morning at 7:15. Hare Krishna.